I was involved in theater and choir, marching band, jazz band, and um, I just kept doing that all through school, and here I am now, still continuing.
So, have you had people who have supported you and shaped you into the person you are today?
Definitely. All of my family and friends have been very supportive. I always go to my friends first and show them my new stuff and ask what they think about it. A couple teachers have always been super supportive of my art, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
You know, people you look up to, like, telling you that you're doing something right is always awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any musical inspirations?
Right now, my biggest inspiration is a producer from Venezuela. His name is Arca. And him and his roommate, they do like audio-visual projects. So like he'll make all the music, and his roommate makes these like crazy videos, and it's really awesome. I got to see them live last month.
Oh, how was that?
It was really cool. It was in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Oh.
There's like a huge projection screen showing their videos, and like all synced up to the music perfectly. I don't know how they did that.
So, with these musical inspirations, have they influenced your style of music that you make?
Definitely. Well, Arca, for example, his music is very experimental and like outside of the box. And so it kind of made me think about stepping away from the normal verse chorus song format. I really like feel free to experiment however.
That's cool. So, do you find inspiration from people other than musicians?
Definitely. One artist that I really enjoy, his name is H.R. Geiger. He did like the concept art for the movie, the Alien trilogy. And so his art is very stimulating to me visually. And also like film directors and actors. There are some that I really look up to.
Oh,
It's not like a direct inspiration, but I think it definitely shapes how I think about things.
that's always good. Yeah, so how would you describe your music?
Cinematic, experimental is the word that I usually use, just because I think I cover like a broad range of stuff depending on the type of project that it is. I try not to like limit myself.
Yeah. So, have you had any obstacles or any setbacks in achieving your dreams?
All of the obstacles I think are within my own head. It's like me doubting or having second thoughts, not believing in myself. But I think it's very important to just stay motivated and always do what you believe is like the truest form of yourself.
So, have you had any second thoughts or any moments where you're like, I can't do this? Any real quick moments you can tell me?
Definitely. There's one, the one that stands out the most is.
And you can tell me that after our break.
Oh yeah.
So, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this commercial. Welcome back to Now and Then, the show where we get to the root of our students' aspirations. I'm your host, Angellna Booth. With me still is Andrew. So before the break, we were talking about having second thoughts like I can't do this, and you're gonna tell me those thoughts. So,
Right. So maybe 5 or 6 months ago, I actually got really sick for the first time in a couple years. Like I feel like I never get sick really, but then it just hit me like really hard. I was stuck in bed for like over 2 weeks, and I couldn't even like, I didn't want to make music. That's like how sick I was, and so it was a really strange feeling. And so listening to everything that I was making at the time, it didn't feel like it was really true to myself. And so I kept going with that project, and I finished it. And like listening back to it, it sounds like very harsh and like dark. And so I think that it was very important that I kind of got that out of my system because it helped me see what I actually want to be making.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So you're in school right now, obviously. So what made you want to move on to college after high school?
My father has been going to school my whole life, basically. Growing up, he like worked full time and had a family and was getting his master's degree. And so seeing him do that was pretty inspiring for me. It really like set a standard of like the importance of education. He always like spoke about how much he loved it and how important it is, but he never like forced me to do that. He
Mm-hmm.
really left it open for my own decisions.
That's cool. So what classes are you currently taking?
I'm currently taking Intro to Art, Oceanography, History of the Native Americans, and Human Sexuality.
So they're all different in a way.
Very different.
Different from music. So which one out of your classes is your favorite?
History of the Native Americans is very interesting. The first 2 weeks of the class, the sole purpose was to get us into the mindset of the Native American people, which was a very awesome experience. So basically, it was just like lecture the whole time, but it was like the most like groundbreaking lecture I've ever heard.
Wow, that's cool. So is there anything you are interested in studying besides music?
I would like to be a chef, maybe. Like that's something that I've always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, I'm not pursuing that.
Mm-hmm.
But as a backup, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you had to choose between being a chef and music, would
Oh
music,
yeah,
music
definitely.
hands down?
Hands down.
Yeah. So what do you plan on doing after Fullerton College?
I plan to travel and apply to other schools, probably abroad somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I try to just see what opportunities are open at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now I'm just focusing on finishing school strong.
Yeah. So for traveling, is that for music or just traveling because you?
Oh, if I could do it for music, that'd be great.
Okay. And my final question is really quick. What would you give advice to someone who wants to get into the field of music?
Just do what you love. Like, if you should be able to go home every night and listen to your own music and be in love with it every time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not doing that, try to get to that first before trying to achieve anything else.
Mm-hmm. So you love music, obviously, and I would think you'd take your own advice with that. And
Oh yeah, I listen to my music constantly, not because like I'm like full of myself, but because like you learn from it. Like, oh, I could have done that better. I like the direction that this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And so using that as a guide to help you keep moving forward.
Yeah, always keep moving forward. I've heard that before, and that's really good advice. So that's all the time we have, unfortunately. Thank you to Andrew. I've been your host, Angellna Booth. This has been Now and Then. Good night.